Yo, I got some scrap wood. If you're joining me now or you're joining me later, I got some scrap wood. Basically, I got an old bed frame that a client was getting rid of. And I hate throwing away wood in the landfill. It's my least favorite thing to do. So, I'm going to try to make something useful out of it because when people come to my shop, they don't have anywhere to sit. So I needed to also not not hold sawdust. So I think I'm gonna do something slotted, and yeah, and I'm gonna set my camera up, and we're gonna start building something. Ugh. It's a jungle. It's a jungle over there. You know it. Oops. Did we clip our power supply? A little bit. A little bit. How we doing, humans? We can do this. Back live. Sound. All right, where we at? Make a little room. All right. I got these, and I got that. Stands to reason I can make a bench out of that, right? So, these are already at length. So, get over here. So, hey Carnage, what's going on, man? How's he doing? How you doing? Did good on that live, man. You're getting better every day. All right. I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to run simple design here. And I'm going to turn my attention to that table over there. That way, that'll be kind of our assembly station for the time being. Y'all check out my man Carnage Knife Sharpening. He is an interesting guy with a lot of interesting knives. And he's given me loads of helpful information and loads of helpful assistance in my knife sharpening journeys. That's my sled. That goes over here. I should have cleaned up before, but you know I get impatient. So, let's see what we got. Give ourselves a little bit of space. Oh snap, I got a couple of likes. Appreciate that. Much love to you too, Carnage. That's what we got here. Alright. I don't think you're gonna need these just yet. There might be some support for later. But if I want to go across there, and the bench is let's say my workbench is about a foot wide, and that's a pretty good number for me, I think. Let's see how many of these slats we got laying on the side to get a foot wide. Relatively narrow caboose, so let's say 14 inches, right? Stop it. All right. We'll let those hold right there. So that is compressed almost 7 inches. So that means if I got a spacer in between all of those, that gives me 14 inches. If I use the same dimension, that's what I use. And that sounds a lot like right. So I've got to cut nothing. All right, here we go. We do have to have spacers in between here. I do have to have some support underneath here. But we're going to go top this thing like that. We see. We got this. Oh, looking. It's really close. That's really close. Line them up, set them up, put these on the bottom side, and that'll be our support. Fasten them all to each other. We'll send some down the middle, send some down the end, and then we'll send a rail across the outside, another rail across the outside. We got an idea, man. We got a plan over here. Let's do it. As Tone Loc would say. Let's do it. If you're old enough to remember Tone Loc, your knees hurt, I promise. Wow, thing. Please, baby, baby, please. Alright. How long do we want our supports to be? And how many can we get out of this board is the question. So we're going to have one in between each. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's simple enough. Times 3, that means 30. Damn our imperial system. So we got 8-foot boards, roughly 96 inches. And you need 30, so what's 96 divided by 30? That'll be 90. That's 3. Okay, 6. 2. I did that math completely wrong. Okay. So we need a bunch of these little pieces. We're going to start 3 inches. How many 3 inches can we get out of 96? 30. I don't think we get structural integrity smaller than that, though. We are going to use brads, so we don't need to necessarily concern ourselves with splitting the wood. We are going to use glue. I think we're making up our minds right now. We're making up our mind. We're going to try it at 2 inches. We tried it 2 inches to see how that goes. What's the depth here, though? Maybe we can do that. That'd be an interesting go. And that way, with the amount of this side, still get exactly the same height. Situation. Cut right here. And the question is, do we do that on the point over there? Look at me. Do we do that on this, or do we do that on the table saw? My vote is probably here. Let's do that. My lunchbox. Treat you like that every day. Sure, I don't mean to. And here's the situation. Where I'm gonna need a little dealer's help right now. A little dealer assistance. Oh no, sorry. No disrespect. No disrespect to Dr. Doom. Didn't mean to disrespect you, sir. Well, this is our no frills fence. There'll be a couple of heads. Push in, boom, boom. Here's the thing, right? We want to repeat that cut. We got all that board over there. What we want to do is put a stop here, but the unfortunate part of that is that this gets in the way, doesn't have clearance to bring that down. So I get maybe a thick enough board right now. Yeah. And then I'll put it here, it'll be my block. And let me confirm. That's what I want. That's what I want. And then we'll get some repeat cuts around here. You get me? This bag of repeat cuts right here. Really should check to see. I'm even plugged in. I think I am. So why don't you? I lost the surge protector the other day, and now I have to Afro-engineer my electrical situation till I get a new one in. So, Let's confirm squareness on that so that when we make our cut, we'll know if we need to adjust our saw there. I can eyeball square with the best of them. Hey, what's up?
I need this ring light for a sec.
Yeah.
If you ain't using it. Oh, okay.
Oh, no problem.
I could use one of your other lights.
This one's you. Thank you, Bear. That's a repeat cut. What's going on, bro? Scheme. All right, we're just gonna keep checking these joints out. Got our stop block tight. There's gonna be a production factory here for a second. Be so impatient. But I gotta show you a proper technique of shit, so. You should let that blade stop if you're gonna do it this way. No, it's not. Patient. Get it? Let me do me. Remember, always wear your eyelashes for protection. Oh, it's raining out and all of my safety gear in the truck. Guess I'm gonna have to move myself. What up, Jordan? Is it dry where y'all live? You're going through this down torrential hurricane. Can you see all right? Ooh. All right, let's see how many we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more. 5 more. 5 more. 37. All right. That's good, right? That's what we need, I think. And then some. Turn your attention this way, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So now we got some pieces. Spray them all the same way so that we know. Get over here. Let's get them all organized a little bit. So we at least have them all headed the same general direction and orientation. So with the repeat cut that we just did is not wasted. We are going to clean these up a little bit. Sandpaper. When that time comes, let's grab one. Let's see, how hot is it? Make sure I got my air filtration regulator. Turn that up a little bit. Excuse the noise, but I gotta be able to breathe a little bit. So, let's do a quick sand off. This sucks, it really does, because we gotta go to the back of the truck over here. Gotta get the pistola. Ain't got no bullets. Let's go get them. You mean nails, I'm saying nails. Demonetized on the first day of school. Ugh. Here we are, just the two of us, and all these people watching. Oh, quick and dirty. Get them all at the same time. Just hit these corners. I'm not trying to make them decorative, I'm just trying to keep the splinter from ever splintering. Gotta get them early. Wow, it's still good. What I think we're doing right now. Boom, boom. Right, right. Boom. And then over here, boom. Right? Then here. You got it. Got it. After that, we'll move forward with a boom. Thus, initiating an additional boom. Setting off the general chain reaction, correlating booms, followed by some white betas or brothers. Throw another roll in here. Maybe a pepper. Give it a pop. General coming from engagement. Slipped. Almost slipped. Caught it though, we caught it early. So now what we're doing is just kind of doing a dry fit. We call this a dry fit. And that's so we get a general idea, general shape, general projection of what we're going to be looking at with basic width, height, and dimensional characteristics. There's room for some fanning on this thing right now. There's room. I'm feeling being like it is working out. These are the only ones that we gotta fill with. These two will govern themselves, so I'm just gonna get these ones out of the way for now. Needs to sit in something. No, it's still brace it off. see I did? That's a dead one right there. Next one, what the heck I'm gonna do? Sorry, you guys, my computerized software tracking camera is on the fritz again, just like since forever, since so my benches are square. I know this because I'm incredible. So what I'll do is lock my straight edge, in this case, my 2-foot level, to the edge of the bench over here. And additionally over here. Now, I'm only willing to put light pressure, and it's right on this corner, it's on the ribs, not in the center, not ever that way either. You don't want to break these things, because once they're out of line, it's over. You can throw it in the trash. It is no more good. I'm tripping over everything today. So that's how I'm doing that. So I'm also going to like this one, and this corner, alongside it. There are more sophisticated ways to get a square edge. This is mine. And it works. So here we go. We got a good 90 right here. All we need to do is being pushing them together and pushing them back into the corner. And get back to work. We can put these up. Simple and plain. We're only going to focus on one side at a time. We're not going to put that massive focus on both of these because, you know, you want to be careful when you do it. Scratch that. It's the opposite of it. We're going to pop these things in and snap them back. And that's how it's going down. It's going to take a little bit of time that it takes to do that, right? Right? Practice some of my Espanol out here on lápiz. My total length, 39 inches, that means 19 and a half. That's my center point. Let's make that much. 19 and a half. And this thing, it's long, so that's 1 1/4. And that means I can put it right here. When we get another one, I can transfer that same mark to it. And then from here, I'm going to transfer that mark over there. Let me get rid of it. So there's 18.5. Go. 19.5. But essentially all we need is these two fellas right here to be spot on in their application.
Anything else we do is we have to test it.
Just like that. Do I have concerns about glue sticking to my table? Maybe. Maybe. If I feel inclined to do anything about it, probably not. Probably not. Oh, we already got them. Now, you guys, and I hope to insulate you from noises and traumas of the workshop. There comes a time in every builder's life where he has to push that button. And I'm going to push it now, and I want you to push that button while I'm doing it. Hold your ears. It's going to be crazy. A little bit crazy. y'all gotta fix my compressor. It was running that whole time. She was leaking from her relief valve. She is an ancient tool. And the most be respected. Alright, I think we got the seat of our bench. For the most part. We'll lock these in because these are not close to tight yet. There's a lot of movement still to be made. I don't know if you can see this. Try to get you a little closer. But, see, I got that much play, right? Put that guy on there. That's where it's making contact. Now I'm just turn that handle. Turn it. Now I don't want to make an accordion, so I'm going to go ahead and get this side too as I'm going. Yeah, I mean. We don't really need these anymore in this orientation. Compromise this part. Take those off. Get them out of the way. Get back to civilization over here. Alright, so not necessarily flat though. But see if we can make some adjustments to help the situation a little bit. If we can get this bottom half a little tighter. And this may be racking a little bit. Some more delicious squeeze out. So delicious. You know what? I already see it's trying to fold over. I need opposing pressures. There you go. I ain't doing what I said do. I ain't being a good bitch. This one seems to be laying pretty clean. Not gonna do much else to it. And then I'm gonna get these off of my table. At least the blue areas. With some elevation. You know what I mean? Feel me? And you don't have to worry about gluing our station to our station. Now this is going to be the bottom side of our bench, the top. and it's gonna fit right over onto those. Hopefully, I guess I should prep those for. I'm trying not to get another idea. Alright. So while that's happening, here is more of our scrap stuff. We're hoping to kind of rest our bench top that sort of. Then how do we do it? Or we can just build some rails from this to that and we just sit that bench on top. Yeah, Wes. That's what we're gonna do. Duh. Okay. So, let's take a quick moment to find somewhere else for this to be. And it's got convenient carrying house. Sitting right here. For now. No big deal. For now. Well, these old furniture label stood off. Or not. Maybe that's why it's in there for. Okay. This would be like the front legs. And then I need to make that go to the back legs. That's going to be inside of this dimension, so I can't do it from out here. I have to do it from that sitting on top. Great. So I just need to be sure of that. Depth. Just to see fully in these couple inches. Something down the middle, of course. Alright. What do I got? Got this. So, I can literally go that way. And sit. Just additional support. Then I could also put a little brace underneath here. With some more strength. So both to the inside. Give myself a couple inches. So if that sits on top, it's over 2 3/8. So I gotta be at least 3 inches back. 15, 10. That's to the inside. Three of these, 13 and a quarter. What did I figure out? Just come up the face, the jack attached to that. Another jack on the other side. maybe more. Okay. 13. To the table. Leave that 3 times. There's 2 of them. That's 2 of them. And we're going to have a gap there between the bench and the back. No. One more of those. Man, good dish. All right. To that side, end up with like that kind of situation, right? And it's just gonna sit on it. That kind of situation repeated. But I'm also thinking that kind of situation. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice support right there. It's a good. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna freaking do that. Alright, let's lock you, man. To this fella here. I don't do a whole lot for this situation. Stop that telephone call. Alright. Apologize ahead of time, but we got to get back to the noise. Hopefully it won't endure as long as it did. There we go. side. So now we got a front edge. We got attack that edge. How? I don't know yet. Always leave yourself surprise snacks in your shop. So like that. Alright. This got crazy sawdust all over the wood. That needs to be the other part. Of the developing situation. Let me get you a better eye view. This all the way over. Full support. So, when you support this distance, first you gotta come off. That's first. And then we have to duplicate them. Because I believe that distance is the same distance. Same this side. No, it's not. Say another inch. Back to the soup. I'm not gonna split hairs. Yeah, I'm gonna need power again. I'm feeling real. I don't know. Good lady. Assuming it's the side of the moon, it's the whole court. Ay, ay, ay. If you ever gotta pull out a bunch of finishing ribs, get a pair of grip pliers and go on with it. Get over here. Now, check. Pop this back up. Finish nails. These are called finishing nails. Little sleeve. Like that. Not going in. They're just bouncing right off. It's alright. He's gonna catch it from the back. That's alright. Break them off. Support on there. Why like that? Yeah. Maybe it's time we move. Stretches on those legs. Oh my God, they twisted. Usually, something can twist. It's not magical. Usually, clean it up. Still need a bat. Back. But it's good. It's comfortable. It's not going to catch any sawdust. Yeah. Some negotiations with Weatherbags. Anyway, I can put some arms there. And then I can put it back there. Ah, finished. Too bad, scrap, junk. I don't think these are good enough to dry yet, so I'm really going to re-clamp them so that it just sets up. Don't want to rely on that glue for most of the holding strength. So we want that back in. Maybe I'll do something cute to finish it off. No, I'm not gonna be able to now. It's a bench. Can't say I love it yet. Can't say I love it yet. But let it dry up. See if we're in love with it tomorrow. But no. What else I gotta call it too? Oh man. Thank you for joining me, everybody. It was in the chat. Hung out with me. I'm gonna go upstairs and check on my wife. She wasn't feeling great today. And she was napping, so I'm gonna go check on her, make sure everything's cool. And y'all have a great night. Peace. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much. Everybody that hit the like, thank you so much. I appreciate it. That thanks for the channel. It really does. Thanks. Peace.